Happy Crafternoon, everyone. Okay, hopefully we're back. Something happened with our stream, but we think that we got it working again. All right, so sorry about that. So I was talking about scraps. Now, scraps are one of those things that can easily get out of hand in your craft room. And as crafters, we make so many beautiful bits and pieces, and it's so hard for us to throw them away, even if maybe something didn't work out so well on that panel and we don't feel like the whole panel is card worthy. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to dig through my scrap box and I'm going to show you how I use scraps and panels and pieces that didn't work, and we're going to create some cards with them. And also, I'm going to show you a fun way to use scraps to make your own embellishments too. But before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hey, whoo!
That was scary, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're doing some work out there, and I don't know if that's messing up the stream a little bit. But hopefully the sound and everything is fine now. I see everybody saying it's good now. So.
And of course, I couldn't resist. Because what you're talking about here is, of course, scrap-opportunities.
Yes! Oh, you got the word of the day in pretty early today. These are definitely scrap-opportunities. Yes, if anybody's still having trouble, just refresh. I thank you for posting that, Sherry. I appreciate that. Yes, these are scrap-opportunities. Well, Tom, I think you're going to like these cards today because they're different. They're just a different style from what I usually do. So I think it's going to be fun.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, it should all be okay now, Kathy. All right, so I have a big box of scraps here. And let me just go to the overhead here, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I was checking my zoomer and we were running around trying to get, yeah, there should be sound. If you're not getting sound, just go out and come back in. So these are all scraps. These are things that didn't work or panels that I made just for fun. And I've got tons of them in here. So let me just grab a handful of them here. I'm just going to grab a big handful and we can kind of go through them. So you guys probably remember seeing a lot of these different techniques over the years. Glitz glitter gel, bubble wrap. Let's see, that was just a really super light. I don't think I'll be using that one. This one was some re-inkers on like a glossy paper. Let's see. Well, if you refresh and go back out and come back in, it should be okay. All right, and then these were just different panels that I put on cards, but I didn't really like, so I peeled them off and kept them. All right, awesome. Great to see that it's working for everybody. Okay, and so these are just all panels. This was reverse stenciling, just different things that I did. These were from some of the videos that I did when I showed you a bunch of embossing folder techniques, but I never turned those into cards. Here's one that I didn't like the way this looked, right? So I ended up keeping the panel. I tried to put it on a card. I didn't like it, so I pulled it off. So I'm just going through a bunch of scraps here to show you different panels. Now, these scraps don't have to be this big. It could just be a little bit that you cut off for something. Here's a card base that has nothing on it. Here's some ends of silver and gold foil. I did these on white polyglaze sheets. I just did foil pieces and I cut them off to die cut other things out of them. Okay, so I've got all of these different scraps here that I think are really pretty, and I want to use them for something. So you guys know that I love rainbows, right? And I think a rainbow card is always fun. It's always appropriate for a card of encouragement, anything like that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find different panels in the colors of the rainbow. So we've got some red, some orange. I can definitely pull some yellow out of that, right? Some yellow. Maybe some green. Decide if I like that green or if I want to use maybe this as my green. Green, we'll put that there. Some blue. Some purple. Some pink. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I think I'm going to do a different blue. So we'll have like a teal and a blue. So let me find a teal color. I have a teal one. I could even use this. Teal and then maybe blue here. Okay, so I have a little bit of a rainbow here going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a die that would be appropriate for these. Now, I think you can use any die you want. You could do circles, you could do diamonds, you could hand cut shapes if you want. But I'm going to use, this is from our new kit, the Sweet Celebrations. I'm going to use the heart die because this heart die is so cute. Now we've got a couple different sizes here of the heart die. We've got a big one and we've got a small one. And these are the two hearts that work with the lollipops. So I'm going to take a panel. This would be the size panel that I want to make today. And I want to see, I would only get 2 hearts here, but if I use the smaller one, I could possibly go 3 hearts up on this. So I think I'm going to use the smaller heart. Now, stick with me on this, okay? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my die cutting machine and I'm also going to find some foliage dies that I can cut at the same time. Some flowers and foliage. So let me look at what I have here for flowers and foliage. So I have this set. This is called Spring Blooms, and it's got this flower that you can piece petals into, and it's also got some leaves here. So I'm gonna use this one. And then for some of you that bought Debbie's new favorite Flora set, this would be a really good one to use. So I'm going to cut some of these as well. Let me just pull these out. I think that's going to be a good amount of flora and flowers here for me. I also have this, and this is the foliage fillers. I really like these. I have this one too, which is spring flowers. So maybe I'll use a little bit of all of these. We'll see. So I'm cutting enough so that I can make two completely different style cards. But both of them are going to be rainbow. And I'm going to start with my red, which is going to be the first color in my rainbow. So I definitely need to cut a red heart out of here. But then I also want to cut some foliage out of this one. So I think I will do some fatter leaves, something that is going to be able to show more of the red. So I'm going to use some leaves from the Spring Blooms die set. I'm just going to cut some red leaves here. All right, so I have all of those on this red scrap panel, and I'm going to cut these out. Okay. So let me get my glasses so I can see what I'm doing here. I've got a couple of leaves. Here's a heart. Here's a couple of leaves. And there are my reds. Now I know my screen is in the way there, but there are my leaves. All right, so I still need this heart die. The next thing that I'm gonna do is some orange. So I'm gonna use this panel. This was a shaving cream technique that I did way back in the old days. I did a shaving cream technique, and I used masking magic strips with this shaving cream technique. So we're going to use this one because I never used this panel for anything. And I do want to make sure that this doesn't move, so I'm going to use just a little piece of masking magic here. And then I'm going to cut a couple more little leaves out of this. I'll use these tiny leaves from Debbie's new set. These are the tiny leaves from this favorite Flora. And I think I will use this one too. And I'll put that in a spot where I can cut a whole leaf. Okay, so now I'm making some orange pieces here.
Question where you got your bin.
My bin, I think I got that at like one of those home stores, like Home at Home or Home Goods, one of those kinds of places. I have all kinds of mix and match bins. So, but that's where I got those. Okay, so now we've got this little one in orange. And we've got this little heart in orange. This is kind of stuck here because it had some tape behind it, but that's all right. We can pull that off. There's those leaves. Now I could go back and I could cut a whole bunch of other designs from here. I could cut more leaves. I could cut another heart. I could have cut two hearts, so I could have made two cards like this. All right, so now we've got an orange heart, and we've got some orange leaves. All right, so now we need to do our next color. So next in the rainbow would be yellow. So I'm still going to keep these pieces because I can still cut a lot out of these. So I'm going to keep those. So now this one, I'm going to use this up here. So I'm going to cut a yellow one of these. And then I'm trying to decide how I'm going to start this design here. So I'll probably have this going here like this, And I think I'm going to need a yellow flower. So let's make a yellow flower. So I'll put my heart over here, and then I'm going to cut some petals from this flower. Let's see. I think this is the die that fits in there. Okay, we'll use this one. We'll use the small plate. Okay, now we're going to cut these. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm telling you, once we get all these pieces cut out, the hardest part is going through your scrap box and trying to figure out which pieces you want to use, because you're going to have so many different scraps. There we go. We've got 3 hearts there. And now we've got some flower petals. I'm just going to leave that like that so I don't lose any of the petals. Okay. Now, for that flower, we're going to need another piece of yellow. So I'm just going to grab a little scrap of yellow cardstock here. I have, what is this? Okay, I've got this. I'm going to just cut a little piece of that out. And this is going to be the back of my yellow flower. Hey, Megan, how are you? Good to see you. If you guys missed my video yesterday, Megan was my special guest, and we had a lot of fun together. And you might want to just check out that video because there might be some little special thing going on in that video. All right, so we're going to put that together there. So that's my yellow flower. Now, the next color in line would be green. So I'm going to look one more time here at some of my scraps and see if I have a different green that I can use. This is kind of more greeny green. So I'm going to cut one leaf pattern out of this green here. This is a little bit more yellowy green. So I'll cut one out of here. I have to admit, I am very, very into color right now. Very into color. And so I've been playing with like crazy. Oh, I broke that. It's good enough. I've been playing with crazy amounts of color with my doodling and with all kinds of things like that. I've been going a little bit crazy with color. I hope that you guys are having fun with color too. I know that a lot of us recently got those Ohuhu markers, and we've been having a lot of fun with that. And I don't know what it is, but maybe it's just because the winter felt exceptionally long and gray. But how is that background a scrap? Oh, because I'm not using it for anything. It's just sitting in my scrap box waiting for me to use it. It's a scrap now, and I'll use it again, but I'm just cutting something out of it. So it's definitely a scrap. Definitely a scrap. If I'm not using it for anything, it's a scrap. Especially if it's sitting in my scrap box. But again, I'm keeping this because I can use this for the next time I want to play in my scrap box. I don't keep scraps that are like this big. If you guys are keeping scraps that are this big, I think it's time to purge, or tape them all over a piece of cardstock with some Mod Podge and turn it into some kind of background, because this is just, this is just too small. But these are just bits and pieces of things. Like this is definitely a scrap that I would cut off of a snowflake, and I would use this for something. But some. Okay, so I'm going to use, this is a big panel, but I'm going to use this one too, since I'm not using it for anything else. And I think I might cut another flower out of this one. That's going to be kind of cool. I don't know if I have a green that will match, but we'll see. Yeah, hopefully everybody's sound cleared up, and I don't know what's going on with some days. Okay, so that is a different green. So you can see I'm just kind of going through rainbow order and deciding what I'm going to use. And again, I'm keeping all of these pieces for later. So now we could add a little glitter into this next one. This was a glitter panel. I was testing out some Gina K Designs Glitz Glitter Gel many moons ago. I'm just going to find a place to cut this out of that I like. And then I'm definitely going to cut a flower out of this. Definitely. I just want to find a spot that gives me a little bit of extra glitter in it. Okay. Tell me you guys don't have a box of panels that you're not using. Yeah, I do need to cut a backing for the green flower. I just haven't decided what I'm going to use yet for that, so I will get to that. So there's a turquoise one. And again, these are just pieces that I am just not using, so... Oh, that's pretty. You guys can't see that one, but that is really pretty. That's fun. And obviously, you don't need pieces this big because look at how small these are. I mean, this is just a tiny little heart. So you can do this with much smaller pieces. I guess I've just been using a lot of my scraps because I don't have super small pieces in here. I've got just a bunch of panels. Ooh, this is a pretty one too. I did it all crooked and off center, but that's a really pretty one, and that could be a really nice yellow. Okay, so now after this, we're gonna do a bluer one. So this one's a little bit bluer. These were all techniques that I did with 3D, or not 3D, 2D embossing folders. So this is pretty flattened out now because I must have done some inking technique with it.
All right, Karen wants to know, she said she does a lot of scrapbooking and has tons of small pieces of patterned paper. Would that work for this technique?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely that would work with this technique. For sure. Let's try this one. And then I'm going to do a couple small leaves here as well. Yeah, any pattern paper scraps that you have, it will work with this technique. And here's the thing. Here's a yellow piece of pattern paper that fell out of something. That would be perfect for this technique. You know, and it's something that I really wasn't going to use because I really wanted to use the outer frame, and I just kept it. So it doesn't have to be full sheets of paper. Ooh, that one's pretty. These are really fun. I don't know where the other one went. I must find it.
With the die?
Yeah.
Is it under the machine?
Might be. Better not have fallen into the machine. Well, I have both leaves here. I think I just... Oh, the leaf is still in here. Oh my gosh. Okay, and now purple. Purple's next. So let's do a purple heart. I'm going to get a lot of purple in there. We'll do a purple heart. And we'll do another purple. We'll do some purple flowers or purple leaves. Let's see what we can do with all of this. And the color that comes after purple with the rainbow is pink, because pink works its way back up to red, right? So that would give you the full circle. Pink goes into red, but pink also goes into purple. So purple feels like it's at the end, but pink is also at the beginning. So, all right, there's some purple pieces. Now, if you don't have one color, you can always go and make that color. Just make some crazy patterns with something that you have. Ooh, here's one. Let's just cut a piece right out of here. This will be fun, because I'm not going to use this. I'm going to cut a pink one of these. These are pieces that I either didn't like the color combination, or I just, something about it. I did it on the wrong paper. I didn't want to use that paper. Okay. And again, we could use this leaf to cut out other leaves. So if you were looking for more green, you could cut from the greenery of here. You could do smaller ones like this. Let's just cut a couple of those, just because we can. I might like this one better. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Okay. It's nice too, because a lot of these dies have the impression in them too. Alrighty. Now let's take a look at Master Layouts 2. I want to do a panel with Master Layouts 2. Like I said, I was going to use that size. So I'm going to do a white panel. Actually do 2 white panels. So I'm going to need a new piece of cardstock here. And if you have anything that you you didn't like the way it came out, for example, let me show you some other things that would make really cool little scraps. Let's say you didn't like the way this was a flower. Let's say you didn't like the way this flower came out. You could take a smaller die, like a leaf die, and you could cut a leaf out of it. And then that could just be an orange leaf instead. Maybe you didn't like it as a flower, but you need an orange piece. So I didn't like the way this came out. I didn't like the color combination I used on that. I have other things like that sitting here. I have so many things in this scrap box, guys. And I have so many scrap boxes. This is one of like 5 scrap boxes that I have.
Question from Cindy. Tom, does Gina ever sleep? She is constantly dreaming and coming up with ideas. She is such a treasure.
Aww.
You know, come to think of it, I haven't seen you sleeping, because I always go to bed way before you're asleep.
It's true. He does. He goes to bed very early compared to me. You know, it's probably a whole variety of reasons why I don't sleep a whole lot. My age, my menopause, which I will remind you that the word men is in menopause. Sorry, Tom. But I don't sleep a whole lot, so thank you
Hence-
very much.
Hence the term menopause.
Menopause. Okay, I'm gonna cut one piece of black here so I can do my 2 black panels now. I'm just cutting everything all at once so we can start playing with these designs. All right, so I'm using Master Layouts 2 as my main layout pattern. Look at all those colors. I was really excited to play with this today. And you know what? Another really fun way that you can use your scraps is with leaf dies in the fall. There are so many fun leaf dies. We've got some beautiful leaf dies in our collection. And all of those warmer tone patterns that I made, like this one, and here's one that I made, and I'm just like pulling stuff out of here. Here's a different one that I made. You could cut all of these. You could cut all of those out of leaf dies and just create a gorgeous collage of leaves on your paper. And all of the interest that you get from the patterns that are in there. Now, a lot of you might, I do have to cut one green flower. I don't know what to use for that. I think a good color, and I should have a scrap of it somewhere, but I think a good color, let me find my scrap things here. So this, I keep all of my colored scraps in stamp pockets. So these are all my greens, just bits and pieces of leftover greens. So I think this would be a good color to mix with this. It's a darker green, that's for sure, but we'll see how it looks. If we don't like it, we can change it up, but I'm going to cut a plain flower out of that. And actually in that set, there are centers for these flowers, and there are also like little dots. So there's like these kinds of things which are like the stamen. So I could cut some stamen out of this, and I could cut a center out of this as well. So I'll do that, and then I'll cut a stamen and centers out of another color. I actually think black might look better for the centers, but we'll see. We'll see how all this plays out. And remember, when colors are close to each other, like green and yellow are right next to each other on the rainbow, you could mix the green stamen into the yellow flower, and then you could put a yellow center. So maybe I'll do that instead. We'll see. We'll see. I might cut the stamen out for that green one at the end, or maybe I'll just do it out of black. I'll cut it out of my panel that's going to be behind my Master Layouts 2, because you're not going to see it anyway. And why, if I don't have a black scrap right here, why waste a whole piece of black cardstock? Yeah, I have stamp pockets for all of my colors, but I don't like do one color in a stamp pocket. I do all my greens together. I do all my pinks together, all my reds together. It's a good way to kind of keep everything organized.
Okay, do you know if the delicate flower stamp is discontinued?
No, it's not. It's just out of stock.
Out of stock. And any plans to do Master Layout 21 soon?
We have a Master Layouts 21 that was released, 2 releases ago, I think.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so check that out. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of cardstock and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay. And so what I'm thinking of is doing a little collage of hearts that go across the cardstock in rainbow order. We'll see what this looks like. We'll do blue, purple, and pink. Isn't that so cute? Just having a little grouping of hearts that just go across the cardstock. I just love that. I think that is so cute. And they're all different patterns. They're all different looks, but they're in rainbow order. Now we could also do it this way. So let's see how this would look. To do it in rainbow order, we can go red, orange, yellow. We can do maybe less green, teal, blue, purple. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with that purple. And we could do pink, and we could slide it all that way. And that would be a super cute layout too. So you could either line them all up, or you can do kind of a wavy kind of thing. I did see a pattern in my scraps that might actually work for this. I saw this pattern. Ooh, that could be kind of cool to use this. Again, this is just a scrap that I had in there. And we could maybe just lay the hearts kind of going across. We could use this one too. We need this turquoise in there. I'll do this one. Turquoise, green, yellow, orange, red. So there's so many different kinds of things that you can do with this. So let's make a little layout here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Twirl It check stencil because I want to do a little grounding panel behind here. All right. And I'm going to just line that up, and I'm going to create, do we want to do them all like in a, let's do them all together like in little rows, like the first layout. We won't stagger them. We'll just do them all. It'll be a little trickier because I have to actually get them straight, but I think this will be very cute. So I'm going to pick a very, very soft color. I'm going to do soft stone because I don't want the background to compete with the colors.
So, Gina, that doesn't have to be centered, does it?
Well, it's kind of centered. I guess it's not perfectly centered. I don't think it's going to make a big difference, but I'll center it just to be safe. Okay, so I'm going to get a little soft stone on here, and I'm going to just start in the center and just work my way up just to create a little grounding box in the center here for these hearts to rest on. Okay, and then I'm going to shift it like that, and then we'll do a second lighter hand of the same color. Usually I do 2-color blend, but I think this will work with a little bit of a lighter hand. Let's see how that looks. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And it gives us just something for those hearts to sit on. So we'll just kind of space them out here. And if you like that other layout better, we certainly can do that as well. We can have these touching. Just going to get them into position. And then is this green enough, you think? This heart? I think it is. And this one. And then turquoise. And then blue. Okay, so what I was going to say with this one, I feel like it is too white around the edges, so I'm just going to take my blending brush, and it's got some purple on it. It's got what Tom calls residue already on it. Residue. And just go around the outside of this heart just to make sure that the white parts of the heart don't just blend into nowhere, that it actually looks more purple. And pink. Okay, so I'm gonna pop these all up with foam squares onto this card, and then we're gonna cut a tiny little black strip sentiment that we can put right below here. And I have one that I thought would be so cute. A little black, I love you so much. So we'll see how that looks. We can also, one other thing I want to try before we commit 100%. I just want to see what this looks like. That's another cute layout that we could do, and it spreads things out a little bit more. I'll move it up a little bit, but we would just change the order. We would have red at the top, and then we would have orange and yellow. And then we would have, I kind of like this layout here, green, and then we would have green and turquoise right here. And we would have the blue, and then we would have the purple and the pink. And this way we could put our strip sentiment right across the center. Do you like that layout? I love that layout so much. It's so cute. What do you think, Tom? Do you like this layout?
Love that.
Yeah, I do too. It's adorable. And it's such a cute little way to just use little scrap pieces. Okay, so we're going to do this layout. Might not be everybody's favorite, but we could do one more pink heart down here too. I don't have any more hearts, but let me see if I have another pink, like a purpley pink. Let me show you what I mean. It would be a very, I think I have it over here somewhere, kind of like this color. We could put that down here. Oh, let's just cut it. I know it's crazy, but let's just cut it. Ooh, we could cut this. That would have pink and purple in it too. Purple and pink in there. Let's cut both real quick. Humor me, guys. Oh yeah, I could move the heart out. Oh, that's a good idea. I could move one of the hearts out of the center and put the strip across the center. We don't need 2 greens, so I could move one of the greens. That's a great idea. I like your idea better than my idea. I like your idea better. So actually what we could do is put this pink down here. See, that's what I love about this community, is like everybody's helping. And then we could just have the green here, and then we could put that strip sentiment in the center. Love that. I love it. Okay, so let me zoom back in, and I will go ahead and foam square these in place. Now I'm going to use a small foam square for these. So let's just do them one at a time. That was a great idea. Who said that? Tom, you got to find out who said that so we can give her credit. I'm sure everybody saw her comment, though. All right, so we'll pop this one here. I like when they're popped up a little bit. Just gives the whole card some more dimension. Yes, I like the mirror image idea. Yes, definitely. Okay, so we'll put this here. It's pretty easy once you figure it out, right? And if you like this layout, you don't have to do it from scraps. So this is a great way to use scraps, but if you like this layout and you want all your patterns to be more consistent and you want to use certain colors, you could just make your own patterns out of different stencils and background stamps and things that you have and create ones specifically for a layout like this. It might look a little less complicated because this is a complicated look with all these different patterns, but I love it. This is what I'm so into right now, the complicated pattern look. I see people making things from their pieces of scraps and stuff, and it's very much like what a lot of people are doing now for art therapy. So if you've ever investigated art therapy a little bit, people are just making things, not to turn them into anything. They're just making things, bits and pieces of things like this. And then at some point, when you're in the mood for card making and you're not doing your art therapy, you can rummage through that box of things that you made and you can create fun little things like this.
Cooking from scraps.
Yeah. All right, and one more, this pink one. This is definitely very collage-y feeling. Okay, so there we go. I love this so much. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. And then I'm going to put some tape on the back. Probably should have done this part first, but that's all right. These just look like fun little buttons. Okay. And then we're going to cut a love you so much, and we're going to put it in the center. Now, Tom, I want something with a flag, but you know what? I don't have that here, so I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, if you don't have the die that you want and you wish that you had a die that was a flag and you don't have one, because I want this to be like longer. So I can't do that. It's not going to be long enough on this sheet. All right, I think this will work. I can do a little flag with that. All right, let me get the die cutting machine back up here again. I know it's going to be close
Does
again.
that whole sheet go across as far as you want it?
This sheet? This black
Yeah.
sheet?
Does it go all the way across? Is that what you want? You want it to go to the black?
This is fine. This will work fine. Yeah, I just wanted to have like a little extra on the ends so that I could trim some tails.
You have to eyeball it with...
I'm going to eyeball it.
Yeah.
With looking out sideways from my glasses, I'm going to do my best. But if you have a little die with some flags, we do in some of our master layout sets, but I didn't plan ahead for that. So the heart die is where I got that from the kit. That's from our brand new kit, from our Sweet Celebrations kit. It's actually part of the lollipop design, and that's where I got it. Okay, so I just used one of our sentiment strips, and I'm trying to think of which one this is from. Brienne would know, because Brienne knows what I'm using before I even use it. Okay, let's see how this looks first, just like this. So we could pop that up right there in the center, which is so cute. Now, I'm going to take a shot here, and I'm going to make some cuts. All right, so I'm going to come in on an angle and try to eyeball it to like the center of the H. I'm not going to go in that far, but I'm going to just like kind of eyeball it a little bit like that. And then I'm going to just meet it on the other side like that to make a little tail. And it doesn't have to be perfect, which is good because it's not perfect. But you can do that if you don't have a flag die. You could just take a straight sentiment strip die and create your own, and that'll just give you the little tails on the ends. So I'm trying to decide if I like it with the tails, because I didn't cut it perfectly even, but we can fix that. Maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just recut it and make it straight. But the tails are cute. Yeah, a center slit, that's a good idea. Cutting a center slit first. I probably should have just gotten a ruler too on the other side. I just went a little past where I was supposed to go. So I think I'm going to cut another one and just go plain with it. Because I actually liked it plain a little bit more. Because there's a lot going on in this card. And while I'm here, maybe I'll pick a different strip sentiment for my next card that I want to show you. But I do like the little extra black on the edges. So I'll cut one more. And then I have so many sentiment strips here that we can use. And something about our sentiment strips is they are actually printed with toner. So you can foil them. So if you have any of our sentiment strips and you're thinking, oh, you know, I wish I had a red sparkly sentiment strip, you can just get the Radiant Red foil and you can go ahead and foil them. And that's kind of fun. We have Zeus here today because we're having some work done on our house, and we were too afraid the workers are walking in and out of our house. And so we were afraid that he would escape. And I don't think he would know what to do in the wild, to be honest with you, because he's not an outdoor cat. I mean, when he finds like a spider or something in the house, he just kind of taps it with his paw. He doesn't even like go after it. He just kind of looks at it and yeah, that's gonna look good. Okay, I'll cut another sentiment strip later if we decide to go in that direction. So let's just do a plain white card base for this card because we don't want to take away from the color going on in the center. The other thing that you could do is if you wanted to have color instead, I'm dropping all my other pieces here. If you wanted to have a colored card base, go with something that's not in there. You know, I think we talked about that before where I was doing a rainbow and I was missing purple in my rainbow. So I did the card base in purple. Just pick a color that's not in there so it doesn't favor any of the colors, and it'll still look really good, but it won't distract from any one color in the thing. Because like if I used yellow, your eye would be more drawn to the yellow. If I used red, your eye would be more drawn to the red. And so we want to kind of keep all those colors even to the eye. All right, so I like the white card base. Oh, this is such a cute little card, isn't it, guys? And now we're using that great idea of dividing it up and putting the strip sentiment in the center. I love that idea. And that little background, you know, that little bit of ink blending with the Twirl It checks background just adds that grounding panel. So it looks better than if you just put it all on white. Yes, soft stone would be a great color, Anne. That would be a really good color to use. Especially because you've got that soft stone in there.
Deb wants to know, what color is Gina's mother of the bride dress?
It's blue. It's navy because Rena wanted me to be her something blue. Isn't that sweet? Let's see if we can just... I'm going to move this down. I'm doing it. I'm taking it off. Yeah, she wanted me to be her something blue. I'm going to just eke it in there. If I had thought a little bit, I might have put my greeting down first, but I think that's fine. So there we go. There's that cute little card. It's got a little glitter. It's got a little embossing powder. It's got some shaving cream, some embossing folder in there. But isn't that so fun? And we could put a few little sparkles in there.
I would never think that's from scraps.
You wouldn't think that that's from scraps?
No.
No, you would think I intended to do that, right?
You made every one of those separately just for this card.
Nope. Well, that's good. That's good that you think that. Okay, we'll put a couple little sparkles in here. We'll do one there, one here. We'll balance the sparkles out, even though we like to have odd numbers. I think for this, it would be kind of cool to have the sparkles in like a little diamond pattern. So let's... So start looking through your scrap box and see what you have. And do you have a yellow piece? Do you have an orange piece? And see what you can come up with this fun little layout. And if you don't have hearts, don't worry. You can use circles. You can use diamonds if you have like a little diamond die. If you have, you know, squares turned on an angle are like little diamonds.
Maureen wants to know, have we as crafters officially replaced indigo in the rainbow with either teal or pink?
I think we have. I think we have. As crafters, we have done that. Indigo is a deep, dark blue. But we have. As long as we have a blue, we're good. So there we go. There's a cute little scrap card. Now, let's see if we can create something with these flowers and see if we can kind of do a little cascading thing. So, all right, I just dropped everything. My die, I don't want to lose my die. So instead of using the Twirl It checks, I'm going to use a different stencil here. I'm going to use the Harvest Flourish just to do a little grounding area on here. And I don't know what this is going to come out like, but we'll see what we can make it work. And now I'm not going to even re-ink this. I'm just going to use whatever's on there to make just a little center panel for my florals to just drape down over. And this is in lieu of cutting an oval or a circle and kind of positioning them on there. So this kind of limits your supplies a little bit, which is good. Okay, so we've got some red. So if we start with the red, this is going to be funky. I just know it. So if we start with red at the top there, and we add a little orange here. We do a couple little orange leaves here. These are so cute. Okay, so we've got that. We also have these big red leaves that we could put in if we need them. Now let's go ahead and assemble this yellow flower. So we're going to pop these out, and we're going to just paste these right into here, like into this little backing. It just gives us a little bit more dimension on this flower design. But you could use any flower dies you have. I do think the black is going to look better. Maybe we only need one flower. We do have black here, so. Okay, so let's put this together. Okay, I'm going to use this, I think. We'll see if it picks it up okay. Oh no, I'm going to use tweezers because I need to glue the back. So we'll get a little glue on here. You can see that was ripped off of something that I didn't like. You can see my struggle there in that moment. Can you feel it? Okay, we've got that. We could actually take that right to the end, but no, we'll just leave it there. We'll leave it there. I see the black coming through, but that's all right. We'll just leave it. We could do this too. Well, let me go back to the tweezers. I feel more comfortable with the tweezers. I want to do a full rainbow flower design here. This is very fun. I could have used more glue on that. There we go. For those of you that watched yesterday's video, did you notice how calm Megan Andrew is when she crafts? She doesn't always feel like she needs to fill up every moment with words. I'm always filling up every moment with words. And she's just so calm, and she just made me feel so calm. It made me want to like go right to my craft room and just start making. Love you, Meg. Tom, was that your word of the day? Or did you have another one?
Well, I could have another one.
Yeah. Do you want to share that one? Because you did it right in the beginning, and there weren't that many people here yet, and they missed it. I know they did.
All right. So for those people, we've got a twofer.
Yeah.
A
word of the day, oh hey, hooray, let's laugh it up, don't delay. Word of the day, it's here to stay.
It's here to stay.
Yay.
All right.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Okay, so Gina's video today life is all about scraps. And so it was the perfect, having those scraps available is the perfect scrappertunities.
Yep, that was a good one. I like that word of the day. That was very good.
Scrappertunities. Okay, and our second word of the day is about adhesive.
Adhesive.
If you're really, really a master at applying adhesive and you teach how to apply adhesive, might you be a glue-roo? The glue-roo.
That's very good. I like
Back to the dead space.
Oh my gosh, that's very funny. I like that one. Love it. All right. So I'm going to use these green leaves for this one. That little green here. And then we can do blue here. Coming out. A little blue. And a little purple. Coming out here. We might not need that second flower, Tom. We've got a little rainbow collage. Isn't that adorable? Tell me that's not cute.
I love the kind of minimal approach too. So a lot of space going on.
Yeah. I like that too. Now, if you don't like this one, we could instead, I do like that, but I have to add more purple to it. We could instead mix this one with this one. I feel like that's kind of a cool combination where we get our blue in there. Isn't that cute? And it's a little rainbow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stick this to my sticky mat. And I'm going to add more of that purple. Just darken it up a little bit. That's what it was missing because it had too much white space there. Oh my gosh, a glue-roo. That's very funny. All right, and there we've got a cute little design, and then we do a pop of yellow in the center of this with one of these big pearls. I think that would be like the perfect, shoot it across the room, but that would be the perfect center. So we get more of that. Okay, so I'm going to tape all of these leaves down, but I'm going to be smart this time. I'm going to do my black piece first, so I'm not struggling quite as much. These kinds of cards are so fun. This feels very like a little piece of art that you would hang on your wall. You know, it's not like, it doesn't make sense because we don't really have these color leaves, but it gives us that same fun feel as a piece of artwork. Okay, so that's going to go there. And then we'll have these two little leaves over here, like that. And then we're going to put a strip sentiment in here. So we do have another one of these. I could use this instead. Since we have green on one side, we could have blue over here. We might like that look better and then do the green over here rather than mixing that one in there. And then we have our purple down here. So we have our full rainbow. You think that's enough green? I'm going back on my word here because I actually do like this green mixed in with it a little bit better. I feel like it's just more interesting. But we need that pop of blue. So do both. Yeah, both blue. Okay. All right, so now that we know where this is going, I can do this directly with tape, Or I could use liquid glue, which might have been smarter. But we're going to pop that right there. I love the swirl of sun right there. It's so pretty. And then this one, I might have to do some glue on this one. This is tiny. This is from Debbie's new set. Her favorite Flora. That has been reordered because I know some people missed out on that one. And it's definitely coming back. This is such a good set. And when Debbie showed her samples on release party night, it was so fun to see dies that are tiny like this, because you need tiny dies sometimes with these kinds of this size card. You need littler dies. So I'm just using the glue here. I'm going to move this down a little bit. So cute. So I know a lot of you have been watching me for a long time, and we've done so many different background techniques. And I know that you guys might have some really beautiful alcohol ink panels too. If you've done any alcohol ink stuff, those are gorgeous. That would be a fun thing to pop in here as well. An alcohol ink panel with a little bit of shine to it.
Laura wants to know if there will be a Christmas in July.
There might be. That's all I can say. There might be. Okay. And then we'll put these little greenies over here on this side. Sometimes when I have leaves like this, I like to tape them together first to get them in like a good position, like that, before I stick them down, because then I know that they look good. And then we'll pop that right there. We'll have that just trellising down. Doing the red one with tape made me nervous. I'm going to do this one with glue because this has got embossing on it too, like dry embossing. It was done with an embossing folder, and I don't know if that could sustain me pulling on it too hard. Okay, now I'm gonna use, you know what would be really cute down here too? Do we have? No. Nope, leave it. Stop touching it. Do you have to tell yourselves that sometimes? Stop. You're overdoing it.
Do we have a date for the next release?
The plan is June 2nd. That's the plan. I'm going to move this, unless it's dry already. Oh, no, too dry. Too late. It's good the way it is. Too late. Let's see where I put that right there. Okay. All right. And then we're going to put that big pearl that hit Tom in the eye over there. I don't know. Oh, here it is. We'll put that right in the center. And then we'll pick our perfect greeting for this. This is kind of heavy.
You are being quite the glue-roo today.
The glue-roo. I am. Do I have another white scrap for cardstock? For a card base? I must. I must have a white card base in here somewhere. This is a white card base. We could use a bigger greeting for this one.
You never really do know, though, if as you're reaching for something, if you have it.
If I have it?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't know what I have. Somebody asked me, and I've been asked this before, and I feel really bad about it, but, you know, they're like, can you tell me what you're going to use in your live so that I can craft along with you? And I feel so bad, but the truth is I don't really know what I'm going to use in my live. So I never know what I'm going to do. I just know that I'm gonna, like if I'm gonna use scraps, that's what I knew today. But I didn't know how I was going to use them, and my ideas changed very quickly based on your ideas, which were awesome ideas. Okay, so we'll put that there. And then I feel like we need a little bit of a bigger greeting. So I know I dropped that stamp set. Here it is. I was thinking of using this from the new kit and just doing a big happy birthday down here. Like that. That would be really cute, just to have a big happy birthday down there. So I think I'll do that rather than a strip sentiment on this one. But oh, there's so many fun little things that we could do. I want to add one more of these. No, stop. Leave it. Okay, let's stamp that greeting. We use the Misty for that. Okay, so how many of you are going to try this today? I'm really excited to know if you guys are going to like dig through and see what you have and cut out a bunch of hearts or cut out a bunch of stars. If you have star dies, that would be great. Circles, little circles, like from Master Layouts 7. We've got a tiny circle in there that would be perfect. That's our mini slimline Master Layout set. It's got the perfect circle. And you could even cut your circles in half and then piece them back together with the color next to it on the color wheel. Okay. So I think it will be fun. You have to try. You gotta try it. And just think about all those dies that you have that are just small. Maybe they were an extra little die that ended up. And the thing about heart dies is if you have any stamp sets that have hearts in them and it has a die to cut out the stamp, that shape is still going to be a heart. So, if you don't already have a heart die or if you didn't get this kit, you can still use something like that, which will be super easy to use. All right, I'm really close here, but I'm not gonna pull back because we're gonna take a look at this card and we're almost done. And then we're gonna give away a gift card today. So if you're new here and you haven't left a comment, go ahead and leave a comment in the chat. That's how you get entered into our drawing for today. Let's see if this is the right die. Hey, Tom, guess what I got a text about today?
What?
Rena and Brian went and got their marriage license today.
Gasp.
Brian texted me back because Brian's our art director here at Gina K Designs, and I was texting him about something, and I said, hey, congratulations on the license. And he texted me back and said, yeah, no one objected. I love his sense of humor. Who's going to object there?
That's not where they traditionally object.
Yeah. I should have said to him, "Oh, hold on, it's not over yet." All right, so I'm going to pop this up so we can get some dimension on this using my very beat up little foam squares here. So I have to tell you about next week. So not this weekend, but next weekend is Rena's wedding. So with that in mind, I am taking all of next week off because we have a lot of last minute things to do, which you can imagine. And if any of you have ever planned a wedding, you know it can be kind of crazy right at the end when you realize all the things that you still have to accomplish. So I have some wonderful guest designers who have agreed to make videos that I can post on my channel. And so I'll be sharing some videos throughout the week here on YouTube. They'll be featuring Gina K Designs products that I'm sure a lot of you already have in your collection. And they'll be making some great videos. So stay tuned for that. And thank you for your patience. Tom and I will be back after the wedding the following week with more fun videos. But I really do need to help. And so I probably will not be here very much next week. I'm going to put a few little clear ones. And somebody made a really nice comment. They're like, I hope if Gina's not already planning this, that she doesn't plan to make videos next week. We'll be fine. And that was really sweet. I appreciate that sentiment. Because, you know, I don't like to miss our regular time together. But this is a very special time. So thank you all so much for understanding and your patience. Maybe we'll even have a picture or two to share. After the wedding. We're just praying for some good weather. Wisconsin, it takes its time in Wisconsin to warm up. Rena originally wanted to have the wedding in April. And I said to her, you know, many Aprils it has snowed in Wisconsin. And she's like, oh yeah, I didn't really think about that. Because you think about April, and how can you not think spring when you think about April? But in Wisconsin, it is, and I'm sure in other places too, it is very, it's not, you can't count on it. All right, so I added those little sparkles in there. And we made that card with scraps, and we made this card with scraps. All right, Tom, which one do you like better?
Oh, no.
Oh, no?
Oh, no.
No?
Can't do it with this one. They come as a pair.
They come as a pair? Okay. A set of two. There they are. Set of two. Certainly fun. That was so much fun. Well, if you liked this video, and we certainly hope that you have, if you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up, that really does help our channel. And also, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and all notifications so you never miss another video. Do you know, Tom, that only about 40% of the people who watch us are actually subscribers, yet they're here all the time? So if you haven't subscribed yet, we would love it if you'd hit the subscribe button. It really does help the channel because YouTube sees that as, oh, people like this channel. Maybe we can share it with other card makers. So that's how that algorithm is supposed to work anyway. So that'd be helpful. And then if you aren't in our Facebook group, we'd love to have you over there. I bet some people will share their scrap cards in our Facebook group. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. It's the group with 50,000 members, and we are going to have a celebration this summer because we did hit our 50,000 member goal that we had put out there when we were around 45,000 members. We're like, we're going to have a big party. Of course, we hit 50,000 right when I was planning another big party, a wedding. So we'll do that this summer for sure. But it's a great group. Everybody's so encouraging. Just make sure you answer the questions that we ask to make sure that you are a crafter, and also agree to the group rules, and our moderators will let you right in. We'd love to have you there. And then a big shout out to Brianne Loveland. Brianne, thank you so much for being here. You're always so helpful to everybody. Brianne is the one who is posting all the links in the chat. But if you missed any of Brianne's links, you can find everything that I used in today's video on our website at ginakdesigns.com. All right, Tom, it is time to give away a $15 gift card. And remember, the gift cards never expire. And also, if you go to yesterday's video, there is a link there, and if you use the code TAKE10, you can also get $10 off your order. So you can use those in combination if you win today, or if you don't win, you still get $10 to spend by using code TAKE10. All right, Tom, go ahead. Let's give away a gift card.
Drum roll. Here we go. Today's winner is Donna Bonorris.
Ooh, Donna.
Donna Bonorris.
Yay, Donna! Congratulations, Donna. You are our winner. All you have to do is send your name and email address to info@ginakdesigns.com, and we will get that gift card emailed right out to you. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being here with us today and all week long and always. Remember, we won't be here next week, but we'll have some great videos from our guest team. And then Tom and I will be back the following Tuesday night. That's the end of May with a brand new Stampin' Chat Live. Until then, everybody, stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.